Okay, so this video is Mrs. Lang goes over multiplying by 1/10, 1/100th, and 1/1000th. Okay, so one way to make this a little easier when I go to explain the pattern is think of 1/10 instead of the decimal point 1, think of it as 1/10. 0.01 is 1/100th, and 0.001 is 1/1000th. That makes it look a little more like the original with 10, 100, and 1,000. And when we're thinking about the pattern, we're going to be thinking about that 10, 100, and 1,000. It's just in the denominator this time. So again, if you filled this part out with a calculator, that's fine. The point is we're going to do it, and then we're going to look at our answers, and we're going to find that pattern. Hopefully you figured out that after doing this one, the pattern we're looking for has something to do with moving the decimal point. And so if you look at this one, instead of getting bigger, the numbers are getting smaller. So as we multiply by 10, we went from 6 to 0.6, 13 to 1.3, 2.5 to 0.25, so on and so forth. Okay, here we went from a million to 100,000. So while it's not a decimal yet, it's still 10 times smaller than it was before. And so what's happening, if you look at the general pattern, is we are moving the decimal point to the left one time. So what happens when you multiply by 1/10 is you end up moving the decimal point to the left one time. Okay, looking at 1/100th. Okay, the decimal point is getting moved to the left 2 times. All right, and then 1/1000th, the decimal point is getting moved to the left 3 times. And then with 1/1,000,000th, it's getting moved to the left 6 times. So it's the exact opposite of this. So when we multiplied by 10, 100, 1,000, and 1,000,000, we went to the right and the numbers got bigger. Here, we went to the left because we're multiplying by the fraction of these numbers, and the numbers are getting smaller. So on the back, what would happen if I were to multiply by 1/10,000th? I would go to the left 4. By 1/100,000th, I would go to the left 5. So in general, when you're multiplying by a power of 10 that is the fraction, so that power of 10 is on the denominator, you're going to move to the left depending on the number of zeros that are in the fraction. So you really don't want to think about the decimal because look, 0.1 doesn't have any zeros. So you don't want to say I'm going to move to the left based on the number of zeros in the decimal because this doesn't have any zeros. But if I think of it as the fraction 1/10, now I'm going just the opposite as I did when it was 10. So 10 was to the right one, 1/10 is to the left one. 100 is to the right one, 1/100th, looking at it as a fraction, is to the left 2. So I can, based on the zeros in the denominator, know how many places I'm going to move it. And this time it's going to be to the left instead of to the right.